testosterone, we have a problem.
This is Outside the Manosphere, where two guys with zero credentials dive past the cliches of masculinity and try and become better friends by actually talking to each other. It's weirdly hard, but we're doing it anyway. Join us.
Welcome to Outside the Manosphere. My name is Carlos.
And I'm Skip.
How's it going, Skip?
Oh man, it has been a week. Basically, since the last time that we recorded for the podcast, like last Tuesday, Jess has been gone for a conference. And so it's been me and the boys.
Yeah.
And it was also a 3-day weekend here. So I had 3 days where I'm just watching kids, which is rough enough already. But then my youngest one, we got a warning on the Friday that there was some lice in the class. And I checked him and I didn't see anything. And I checked him on Saturday and I didn't see him anything. And I kind of was like, okay, well, we don't have it. Nobody's itching, my hair's too short right now to even get and keep lice. And so I didn't check on Sunday. And then on Monday afternoon, the day before he goes back to school, we're standing in line for the National Museum just to go check out the museum. And I just kind of decided, I'm gonna look through his hair again. And he is fucking covered in lice and nits. And I'm like, oh shit. And so it was already evening, and I was like, I can't, these kids got to go to school tomorrow. And I have never had lice.
Yeah.
We dealt with lice one time when we were living in the US when it was right at the beginning of COVID. So it was actually pretty easy. We were in a new house and we knew immediately he had a birthday party. It was the last thing we saw people for before everything got shut down. And one of the moms wrote us afterwards, right afterwards, and was like, my kid has lice. I just found out. And so we got it right away. I've never really dealt with lice, and Jess already knew how. So I was like, duh, I was just kind of I'm the body that does stuff that helps you out. I didn't really know anything. But now I'm on my own and I'm looking up, can dogs get lice? What does it live? Does it live in furniture? What do I do here? And we've got carpeting, not carpet, but rugs and stuff like that. And so I'm ordering on the grocery app, lice shampoo and stuff. And so lice shampoo is the easy part because, that's something but furniture and stuff, there's nothing you can do except steam it, and I don't have a fucking steamer.
Yeah. you got a vacuum. If you vacuum, you can get some of it up.
Vacuumed, yeah. My older boy was really good and helped me out a lot. But rolled up the carpets, got trash bags and bagged up all the clothes that we'd touched since in memory, and bagged up all the bedding and all the pillow cases and everything, and completely shut down the living room where they spend a lot of time. So the couch is just no. And and there's bags of stuffed animals in there because I guess they can't live after 1 or 2 days or 3 days,
something like that. Yeah,
they just die. So and I bleached both the boys' hair last night because that will kill the fuckers dead, and they were interested. Yeah. They didn't want to cut their hair, and I trust the shampoo, but they were both like, oh yeah, let's just bleach our hair. So I've got all this extra shampoo. We shampooed the dog. Because there's no washer or there's no dryers here, and the washing machines are really small. Right. I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get because they slept without sheets and stuff like that. They just had bare comforters. and like bear pillows, and then like we vacuumed all of it before we put it on the bed, and I flipped the mattress just in case, and like all the things. So I was like up till like 3 o'clock in the morning trying to like dry things on our heaters and stuff so I could have more space to like wash other things. In any case, I'm very tired. It's already a heck of a thing to have like, one of the parents gone for a whole week. So like single parents, more power to you. I can't.
Dude, this was a universe gift to Jess because she's got long, thick hair and she's gone. And this was like, this is the universe being like, Skip, you need to handle this before Jess comes back because she's going to have the hardest time. If she catches it, it's going to suck for her, man.
Yeah. And she comes back tonight. So she's going to come back. There'll be sheets back on all the beds.
Yeah.
Like everything that could be contaminated is bagged up. I'll have had the dog shampooed a second time. I think maybe time will call me foolish, but I think we're in a pretty good place.
Well, so my only experience, I've had extensive experience with lice actually, and I'll tell you in just a second, but most recently when I was in the Czech Republic, I was working my first year there. I think I'd mentioned I was working at a preschool, and one of the kids, she had lice and she had long hair, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. Like I know what to look for. Like I've seen the bugs and this and this. And so when I looked at her hair, I was not expecting it was a totally different species of lice. And these guys, I don't know what your kids had, but like these lice, so the lice that I grew up with were like almost microscopic. They were like pinpoint dots and they moved really slow and you could see their little eggs on their hair. This girl, I don't know, maybe it wasn't lice, maybe it was some other insect, but it was like, they were large, like winged things and she was infested with them. And it was like, I was revolted when I looked at it. I was like, "Whoa!" I like recoiled when I saw like how infested she was. And so I don't know. Are you seeing like big bugs like that, or are they really tiny? I mean,
they're like
slowly.
They're like flea sized.
Yeah,
and then there's like little eggs all over their hair.
Yeah,
which is all, and it's just the younger one. I did not find any in the older one, but we bleached his hair just to like because he's got just like crazy thick hair.
Right.
There's no way like they could be hiding in there for years and I would never see them. So we just were like, we're killing it all. We're killing everything.
Yeah. So you guys, so he had your younger one had the kind that I had seen there because the lice when I was a kid. Oh, dude. So real quick, I'll just tell you, sure. We were so poor. I don't think maybe I did tell you this story. We were so poor. And at one point it was like, my mom and then my two sisters and I, and then my cousin, we were all living in a 1-bedroom apartment. We had like 2 double beds in one room. We were like rotating on the floor and like one of us got lice and then all of us got lice. And we all have like really, really thick hair. And like, I was the only one with short hair because I was the only boy. But like my mom has like a mane of like lion's hair and like my older sister does, my cousin does, my younger sister does. And dude, we just had lice for like a year, but it wasn't the big kind. It was like these little tiny pinpoint lice. They were hard to see, and they moved really slowly. And yeah, dude, it was a tough time. But yeah, we couldn't get rid of it. And my mom was working full time, and like yeah, it was rough. But I mean, at the very least, like the lice that I'd seen in the Czech Republic are huge, and you can see them. Like these guys, you could barely see them. And if you wear glasses and if you don't have your glasses, you can't see them at all. So you're just like brushing in the dark, basically. But yeah, that was a tough time. And I feel for you. I was itching when you were telling this story, just thinking of having lice again. That was a nightmare.
That's the thing is it's so hard to like even tell. Because once you start thinking about lice, like everybody's itchy. It doesn't matter. Like itchy. And I have like right now, I have like no long hair. I have really short hair on my head. My body hair is not like Robin Williams or anything.
Right.
So, so like I know I can see like physically, I can see that there's definitely no lice on me. But like all night long, just like scratching my head and stuff. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst.
Well, I feel for you. That's a tough time, and you're doing it by yourself. It sucks.
I know. Yeah, I was writing back and forth with Jess, and at some point, I was just like, "You need to come home now." I mean, like, not that she was coming home, and there's not like anything that she could have done to speed it up. It was just like, I need to tag out.
Yeah, no, it's stressful too because it's like it's an infestation, and you're like you're fighting against nature. Like that's
Right. Well, and I think, like we've gotten these warnings many times over the years. This is the first time he's actually gotten it. But like there's somebody in his class that's in the same situation that your family was, where they just, I don't know, like we're fairly well situated to like really isolate and quarantine and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think we're going to nip it in the bud, but somebody's house is just riddled with
Infested.
lice and they can't get rid of it. And this is the first time it's gotten us, but like we've worried over the years. So I bought like tons of extra shampoo just for the future and for the dog and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the lice that we had wasn't transferable, I don't think, to pets. But again, like I hadn't seen the ones that are prevalent in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I just kind of looked up online. I was like, can lice live on this? Can lice live on that? Can lice live on dogs? And it said somewhere that they could. And I'm just not taking any chances because she's like mobile and will lay on anything that lice would crawl onto. Anything soft, anything anything furry, she's like on it.
Yeah, dude. More power to you. I hope you I hope it's taken care of.
I hope so too. Now that I've disgusted everybody with the lice infestation of my house. I have a question for you though, because you brought up like I really didn't know how poor you grew up. And my dad also came from a really poor family. I think my mom did too, but my dad it really stayed with him, like to the point where I have second generation like things that come from how he feels about poverty. And we grew up like we were always broke because they always like if they made more money they'd spend it. Like they were a keeping up with the Joneses kind of family, which is very much not how we are. Probably as a result, but like we'd have a nice house at some point. Like we kind of moved up over the years, and there'd be like leaves in the yard and like a bag of trash in front of a really really what I would think of as a really nice house. And my dad would be like, we got to pick this stuff up. It looks like we live in a slum. And like, like it just there, I heard him say that so many times over the years, and that like his need to not look. And it seemed like it was really specifically to not present as poor, because that and then that need really kind of drove us into like we were the rich poor, like we had the things, but we had no money, and my mom was always terrified that we were broke, or terrifying me that we were broke, and saying it very vocally. But like, what are some of the holdover, like, because that's definitely affected me. Like I'm not miserly, but I'm frugal. And like I have an eye on savings and an eye on the future, because like I grew up hearing we were always broke. So it's like I'm not doing the luxuries and things. And my dad, I already explained about him, and I'm assuming my mom's focus on always saying we're broke is also from her family of 10,
Yeah.
So like I don't know, did you bear any baggage from that?
Yeah, I'd say I probably do. I mean, I really hadn't thought about it, but like right away, the first thing I think of is like we spend a lot of money on food, and we make a lot of our own food, and we don't really eat out ever, but we spend a lot on just like,
oh my God, so do we.
The way I see it is when growing up, single parent household, and my mother was working full time, and she wasn't a natural cook. So we ate a lot of like beans and rice, and like ramen and things out of cans and stuff like that. And I realized like I spend a lot. We spend a lot on food. So I think that's maybe something. Even in Prague, when we weren't eating out, when we weren't cooking that much, or we were still, but we were eating out a lot because there are a lot of options there. But we spent a ton on food. And I don't know about Jody. I think she just likes good food. But like for me, I think that might have been a holdover from being really, really poor and not having a lot of like options food-wise. Yeah. I hate to waste, whether it's and I save a lot. Like I'm not a pack rat or anything, but I'll save a lot of things where I'm like, ooh, I can reuse this thing, or I can like, I like this box, like just a cardboard box. I can reuse this cardboard box for something. You know what I mean? Or so stuff like that. And then also like the thought of like, we're in a really stable position right now,
Yeah.
financially. And I've never ever been that way. Like even when I was out of poverty as a child, because my family was like poor, as
Yeah.
as a man myself, making my own money and paying my own rent and stuff. I just was always kind of like, paycheck to paycheck. And this is the first time I'm like kind of stabilized. And
Hmm.
the thought of not being stable again is always on my mind. And that's like a scarcity mindset. I don't want to have that
Yeah.
mindset, but I do. And Jody reminds me all the time, like, you're thinking in scarcity. Don't. I'm like, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. So I try
It's
not to
hard
think that
though.
way. It is really
It's
hard.
hard. It's hard
Yeah.
because like it's like a genuine. You don't want. I don't want to like contribute to the scarcity mindset that you're trying to avoid, but it's like a genuine danger, right? Like
Right.
that, and like a lot of people are in that situation where it's like it's a short fall. Like
Right.
you're safe where you are, but it's a short fall.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. There was an essay that I had read when I was tutoring at the college in Austin, that a lot of students had brought to me because one of their teachers was assigning it to them, and I don't remember the title exactly. It was something like lifeboat ethics, and it was about like why I'm hoping I'm summarizing it as it should be, but it was something along the lines of like, why are we so intolerant of like homelessness and people who are struggling so hard? Like, and we blame
Hmm.
them for oh, they're in this position because they want to be, or because they're drug addicts, or because of this, or because of that. They put themselves in this position and they don't want to get out of it. And it's really a cold way of looking at these people that are struggling hardcore, whether they are addicts or not. Like, that's a struggle. And like, I mean, who wants to be addicted to heroin or meth or whatever? But we're cruel to them in a lot of ways. Like, we just don't like, oh no, don't touch me or get away from me, or I don't want to give you the change in my pocket because whatever reason.
Yeah.
And this essay, something lifeboat ethics, was that we are in a lifeboat, we're floating in the ocean, and there's only room for so many people, and all these people are floating around you, and if you let them all in, your boat is going to sink as well. And the kind of the crux of the whole thing was like, yeah, we're not homeless, you and I. Yeah, we're not down and out. Yeah, we're not addicted, but we are just one step away from being there. And these people who are like in the gutter are a constant reminder of that. And that's kind of where our hostility comes from as to why we're reacting that way. Because they're a reminder that we are potentially in the same boat. That's mixing metaphors here, but we're potentially in
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
boat as
Yeah.
they are if we let them in ours. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, it's like kind of there, but for the grace of God go I. Except we don't want to. We don't want to have that. So we don't want to think that. So there's like that cognitive dissonance of like, no, they're genuinely different. They're a different kind of creature, and there's something wrong with them.
Right.
And like, it's just like, I mean, there've definitely been times where like, I do probably have like family and friends I could have leaned on. So like I probably wouldn't have wound up homeless, but not everybody is so lucky to have that. And sometimes that's not a failing. Sometimes that's just like the way life works out, you don't
Hmm.
have that support system. And like you said, nobody like people might enjoy drugs at first, but I don't think people want to be addicted,
Right.
And yeah, like you can look at it as a failing, but is a mistake that kind of sucks you in and takes over your life, that initial mistake, is that worth being homeless and ousted by civilization? That it
Right.
doesn't, it feels incongruous with the, quote unquote crime. We could go on about this for a long time. Like I personally am, this is getting into other areas, but like I personally am into like legalize all the drugs, make it a health care, not a health care, but like it's a health and wellness problem, right? Let's get the revenue so that we can fund the rehab centers.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, let's not make it a crime to make a mistake. Let's focus on how do we stop these mistakes from happening? How do we help people once they've made a mistake or gone down a bad path, rather than just being like, well, you're fucked and fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're on your own, and you
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that. Yeah. This is
And
your fault.
yeah, and now we're going to double down by making it basically impossible for you ever to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
Like cuz that's kind of what we do. Like if you get arrested or you're having trouble, like society as it's built just makes it more and more difficult and at a point where like there's no way like you can look at people or think about however they might make their initial choices. But like at some point, there's just not really an easy way out.
Yeah, specifically with the American legal system, like, yeah, just like you said, once you're in it, it's hard to get back out of it again. And if you're incarcerated, you're probably going to be there for the length of your sentencing or until you're paroled or whatever. But like, it's just a spiral, man. And like, you get stuck in it and you're fucked. And you get zero. Once people find out you're in prison, like,
Yeah.
you're a whole different cast of people by then, you know what I mean? Or that you had a drug problem before.
Yeah.
I'm not going to trust you around their kids or that kind of thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're right away. You're in a whole other class of people, and I don't know. It sucks.
So we're going to continue with our questions to fall in love, our 36 questions to fall in love. And if you're noticing that this is out of order, that's because we're both former teachers. This is our sub plan, which our substitute plan for like when one of us gets sick or we need to take off Christmas. So the lice thing happened quite some time ago. If you're worried, it's surely resolved by now. So we are at number 27 in our 36 questions to fall in love, originally from the New York Times. And that question is, if you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know.
Let me think here. I guess, so the first thing that came to mind was if you and I were going to become closer friends, which we are.
Yeah.
And I do think this is an important thing. I think you know it though. Like so what I would want you to know is that I feel confident saying I always have good intentions. Like I don't ever want to be misunderstood. You know what I mean? If I say something insulting or offensive, like it was not my intention to do that to you. You know what I mean? Or to your family or whoever. So yeah, I would want you to know, like, please give me the benefit of the doubt that I didn't mean whatever came out. I don't have those intentions. It's my intentions are good. There's a song, who is it, by the Animals? Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
That's right. Yeah. It's a great song.
That's how I feel. So what about you? If you were going to become a close friend with me, what would you want me to know?
Gosh, I went completely blank on this question. You know, I think I have the best of intentions. I think generally we're at that point. So
yeah, I think so.
And I guess I never really worried too much about that. Maybe I should have. I don't know. And I'm trying to think of like when I got to be close friends with people, like what I needed them to know, and I don't know what it is. But maybe there's things that I should have said, and I have said this to you multiple times because we're kind of in this radical honesty, vulnerability kind of thing.
It is pretty radical.
But like, I mean, for men, I think it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is for me. And I don't know if I've ever said this to anyone. I've sort of told Jess this in so many words, but like, I always think you're going to leave me. That's I always think at some point somebody's going to be disinterested or I don't know, I'm going to somehow upset them or something, because I know I can be abrasive at times. I can be bullheaded and stuff like that. And I'd like that to change, and it's something I'd like to work. I have no idea how to work on it, but other than just to like continue having relationships that last longer.
Yeah.
But like part of this is probably from like family. Part of this is probably from moving around so much as a kid, because I went to different schools for almost every grade until I got to high school, or until I got to junior high, and then that was only 2 years, and then high school. So like, yeah, I think just like letting the other person, in this case you, know, like I just need to know. I just need to know that, like, I don't know, I'm not fucking up. I'm not fucking up too bad, or you're still going to be around, and you're really good about saying those things. And I'm trying to get better as well about manicuring my relationships. And so, in fact, I was thinking of an example about this earlier, which I can get into or not. But that's the main thing that I would in the future maybe try and tell somebody. Although it's hard to like do that to a stranger, to just be like, by the way,
don't leave me.
yeah. It sounds like so needy and weird, but it's like, and it's not. I don't think it's. I'm not like neurotic about it. Like I'm not
Right.
constantly worrying about it
Yeah.
or anything. But it is just sort of this like thing hanging in the back of my mind, or it's part of my personality that I'm like, people are around till they're done with me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's something it's just good, I guess, for somebody that was going to be really close to me to know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's weird or I understand why you would think that it's a needy sort of insecurity, but it's an insecurity. And I think most people have that sort of fear of like, this person's not going to like me anymore. I think, I mean, I have that. I don't dwell on it. And it's not like I wouldn't call it like a pervasive insecurity of mine, but like, I mean, you can compare it exactly to what I just said. Like, I don't want to be misunderstood.
Yeah.
Why? Because if I'm misunderstood, you're not going to like me anymore and you're going to leave. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's a similar thing. And I think it's a pretty common thing. And I think most people have that. Like they want to be liked and they want to be appreciated. They want to be understood. They don't want to be misunderstood. So I don't know. I think it's a normal thing, man. I wouldn't think too hard on that. But anyway, Steve,
Right.
I don't know why I just called you Steve.
You're already moving on to someone else, Carlos.
I don't even know. Do I know any Steve? I don't even think I don't know a Steve. Anyway, what I was going to say, Skip, is that I'm never going to leave you. I'll kill us both before I leave you.
Oh man.
All right. Well, you had an idea of coming up with this ties in nicely to like what would be important for each other to know as we develop our relationship.
Yeah.
Just kind of like rapid fire micro questions, kind of, not really important stuff, but just little stuff that like, when two kids come together and they say, hey, what's your favorite this or whatever. And the kid always has an opinion.
Basic.
Because
Yeah.
So these are all your questions. You proposed it this morning and I hadn't prepared anything. So what was on your mind? What did you want to know?
Well, I think we can go back and forth if you think of something,
Definitely. Yeah.
But the real basic one, what's your favorite color? I have no idea.
It's silly to have an answer to that, but I do have an answer.
Why is it silly to have an answer to that?
I don't know. Like, why would an adult have a favorite color? But I guess not. I mean, like that ties into fashion and aesthetics in your home and that kind of thing. Oh, so this is funny. My favorite color is green. I would say like a dark green,
like a deep forest green.
Yeah. And there's probably
Beautiful color.
some ego there because my eyes are like hazel with like predominantly green in them. So like when I wear green, they were like really pop, and I'm like, I look good. You know what I mean? But
I mean, that's nice. Mine are just dirt, just brown.
So the irony here is that we moved into this house and the previous owners, I don't know what kind of disorder was going on in their brains, but like there is so much green in this house. There's a ceiling fan where the blades and the whole fixture is green. The countertops in the kitchen are green. It looks horrible. The walls are like a light kind of like puke green. The downstairs is green. I'm like, what was going on that they painted everything green? There's like tiles in the basement that are like a really, really light color green. And I hate it. Like we're going to change it at some point, but like, it's so much green and it's gross. I don't like it. So anyway, yeah, kind of a dark green is my favorite. What's your favorite color, Skip?
My favorite color is purple. And it's been purple since college. It wasn't when I was young. It was actually like a green, like what you said. But yeah, I remember a friend of mine, Amanda, asking me what my favorite color was. And I was like, purple. And she's like, why? And I was like, it makes me feel pretty.
That's funny.
Of course, I worked at Victoria's Secret, so I was, like I was fine with just like liking a girl, something that's a girl's color,
right,
in quotation marks. But my older son, it's like one of his favorite colors. My younger son, it's one of his favorite colors. Maybe they got that from me, but yeah, I just think it's just a really pretty color. And I don't actually own clothes that are purple. Weirdly, I did buy one sweater to treat myself because it finally went on sale. And as I mentioned, I'm frugal, but I bought a nice sweater and I wore it once and then I washed it and it got a big hole in the arm. And I was just like, well, fuck this shit.
I will not have tattered clothing. I don't have purple tattered clothing. So purple go ahead.
But no, and my older son has been lamenting lately that they don't have purple clothes for men. So for Christmas, I've been buying him, I've been finding like a purple sweatshirt, a couple purple shirts, and I've been stockpiling them as a Christmas gift.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't think I could pull off purple, not because it's a feminine color or anything. I just don't think I would look good in it. But for a while, I was wearing like really bright color red. Just like you point me out in a crowd of 1,000
Yeah.
people because I'd be wearing a bright red shirt. So I had a lot of checks think that was funny and that it matched my like sort of showy personality.
Your temperament.
Yeah. But I wanted to say that purple, if you're interested, is the governing color. Is the color of the governing chakra in our bodies. It's the crown chakra color, and green is the color of the heart chakra. So they're both important. They're all important chakras, but these are two big ones.
And they're the colors of the Joker, I guess.
And yeah, they are. And they
Just
are
to bring comic books in.
And if we continue that, it's one of the main colors in the Watchmen comic book series because they use secondary colors for whatever reason. It was a choice in their palette.
And when Lex Luthor gets upgraded and he has like the robot suit, it's also his colors. So I guess it's like the bad guy colors.
It's villainous, it's villainous because even the Watchmen is all kind of like dystopian. So that's fun.
Yeah, it's super dystopian.
Yeah. But anyway, overall though, in like Eastern sort of philosophy, I guess it's philosophy, sort of spirituality. Purple is a very positive color, and it's a very important one for the energy vortices in the body.
Nice.
So, okay, well, I'm going to steal your question because I'm not creative, and I want to know what your favorite number is.
My favorite number is 17.
Why? That's very specific. It's very specifically like large number. I wasn't expecting that. Go on.
It feels like the most random number to me.
Okay.
Like if you ask people to choose a random number, I would guess that a disproportionate amount of time they will choose 17. And there's like reasons why, right? Like like when you pick a random number, you usually don't pick a 5 or 10 multiple. You usually don't pick an even number. You usually like I said, it's prime. So like there's a reason why, but like I just enjoy its kind of weirdness, I guess. And that it comes up a lot when people are choosing a random number, and it's just like a little tick of joy when it comes up for me.
Well, you know what's funny though is that I've always seen that number. I've always seen 27 as that number. That's not my favorite number, but like it's a part of magic tricks and stuff. Like when they guess your number, it's usually 27. And because of that, I've caught it every single time. Not every single time, but when we read like a news article, they're like 27 people were murdered today, or 27. When I see the word 27, it's always like suspect for me. I'm like, do you guys just pull that number out of the air? Because that's one of the go-to numbers. You know what I mean? That people just fall on whenever they're having to guess a card, or I guess you don't have a 27 card, guess a number or whatever like that. It's oftentimes in these magic performances, like 17, I guess
Sure.
they'll choose 27.
Well, it's a quite pretty number because it's 3 to the 3rd, it's
a nice number. I guess you're
nice.
a mathy.
I am a mathy. I do that all the time. I'm also like a weird word person. Like I'll read words backwards just to see what they are. Praha. My wife's got that's Prague in Czech. Praha. And my wife's got a poster up over her bed, and I always look at it and think a harp. And there's a mall here that's called Harfa, which is like a harp. And I always think it's funny that Praha and a harp is, there's a mall called a Harp in Prague. I don't know. I'm just weird like that.
They probably chose it for that, actually. It's a weird coincidence.
Maybe.
I'm just going to answer as if you've asked me, but my favorite number is 5, and it's been my favorite number since I was a small child. I don't know why. I just like the number 5. I still like the number 5, and that's my number.
My young son, that's his favorite number, and it has been since he was 5.
Really? I feel like since I was 5, that was my number. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's just like it's the age that you pick a favorite when you like really kind of start to understand numbers.
Yeah, maybe so.
And I'm 5, so like I dig it. It's also a cool number.
You're like, and I'm 5, and the world revolves around me, according to my parents.
Exactly.
So this has to be the right one. You want to do one more? One more
Sure.
each?
What's your favorite swear word, or just word in general? If you have.
Wait, are we calling somebody this, or is just like an expletive, like we're just cursing?
No, just whatever. Yeah, just it can be something you call people, but
I guess if I stub my toe, I'll drop an F-bomb. That's my go-to word. If I'm calling somebody, which I don't call somebody bad words, but like if I'm referencing somebody in a negative way, I feel like asshole is a really, really gross thing to call somebody, because it's just so gross. It's such a mean thing to call somebody. You are a hole in the ass. And that's mine.
Wasn't it Jody that just thought it was hilarious when you called a girl asshole, when girls get called assholes?
I can't remember, but I think it's funny too, though. I
Okay.
remember it's been a thing for me, so I feel like that's come up at some point in our friendship.
That's funny.
All right, what's your go-to swear word?
Well, like, I don't say it a lot, but I really enjoy the word ass. I think it's a funny word. I loved when I was a kid that you could put it on video games. When you got on the leaderboard, your name could be ass because it's 3 letters. So I've just always jerk ass, all the ass words, asshole. Like I think they're very funny. I don't know why. And then at some point in college, I think it was in college, I called somebody a J-hole, and it means nothing. It means nothing. But my wife, who was not my wife at the time, thought it was hilarious, and to this day we still use it. We still call people. What a J-hole. Because it's just kind of this funny, weird thing that doesn't mean anything.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine having an argument with somebody and then just shout it at them, "You J-hole"? Like that would completely derail them. They're like, "What the fuck is a J-hole?"
Exactly. Yeah. I used to, when I was in college, I'd say that the one thing that you could do, if you're in a really knockdown, drag out verbal fight, which I didn't really get into, but this was my theory, is you could call people anything and they just kind of yell back and forth. But if you called somebody a puppy kicker, it would stop things. People would get defensive about that. You could call
I am not a puppy kicker.
Yeah, you can call him a MFer or whatever, but if you're puppy kicker, whoa, hold on. Too far. That's out of bounds.
This is too far. Yeah. This is character assassination now.
Yeah. So those are my favorite word in Czech is French fries. And for no apparent no reason other than I like the way it sounds. It's got this huffy H and the rolled R, and
what's the word I forgot?
Hranolky. Starts with an H and then it's followed by an R, which is weird. So it's very Czech, for us. And it's just hranolky. It just always sounded like a fun, kind of sexy word to me.
My favorite Czech word, let's see, my favorite Czech word was ice cream. And let me see if I can remember.
Oh, yeah.
Word by mouth here. And correct me if I'm wrong here. Zmrzlina.
Yes. Yeah. And for those listening, that's 5 consonants in a row at the beginning. They're ZMRZL.
Yeah. I used to like the way that sounded. Yeah. And then completely irrelevant, but French, quelquefois. I just like the way that sounds. It's a nice.
Oh yeah,
nice
it's
word.
nice. When I moved here and I was trying to learn Czech, and they've got this R for people that don't know, with a little diacritic over the top, looks like a little V on top of the R. And no other language has this sound. And it's like a rolled R with a zh at the same time. So it's zh. And it's really hard for people to say. Even Czechs have a hard time with it when they're young and they have to drill it. But one word that I knew was chicken that had it. It was kursici. And it's got a weird C in it. It's got a couple of different sounds that are hard. So I just practiced saying kursici when I was going around town. And I realized one day I was just riding the tram, and I'm just riding the tram going, kursici. And I'm like, I'm the weird guy. I'm the weird guy on public transportation that's standing there saying chicken to himself over and over again. I'm the crazy guy on the bus.
That's funny. All right, Skip. Well, continuing on with this sort of fun filler episode of ours, I'd like to know, what are your top 3 movies within... I don't know, you have a specific genre you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I've been on a horror kick lately still, but yeah, I like all I like all the genres. I
Well,
like
let's
them
do
all.
horror then. Well, let's do horror.
Okay.
What's your top 3 movies within horror? Well,
Ooh.
spanning the decades as well.
So, I think one of them has to be Cabin in the Woods. I don't know if
Okay.
you've seen that.
I haven't. I've heard really good things about it, but is that the
It's
one?
great.
Is that the one where that kid has, like, keeps saying waffle? No, pancakes. Is it that one?
No, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh. All right. Well, because I have seen that one. I'm like, I can't believe that's so good. Okay, continue.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't want to like give too much away because there is sort of like it's definitely a spoilery kind of movie. But it's a movie that really plays like it's a movie that's best watched if you've watched a lot of other horror movies because it plays with a lot of the tropes in the way that like a Scream movie does. But it does it, and it's really fun story. It's fun characters. Like it plays with it a lot, and it's clever, and it's just really fun. So that's one of them for sure. It's got to be on the list. And then it's quite difficult after that. But I'm gonna just go for some ones that maybe people haven't seen that I
Okay.
think are really fun. So like Let the Right One In, and this was a Swedish movie. It's a Swedish vampire movie, and it's really weird and different for a vampire. It doesn't feel like, oh, it's another vampire movie. It's something really interesting, and it's about kids. And they remade it in the US, and it was called Let Me In. And
Yeah.
I recall them not changing a whole lot. So it was really questionable as to why they remade it at all, other than like people didn't want to read. But I think
Right.
there was also dubbed versions. So, but in any case, it's really different, and it's not like it's one of those kind of really nice horror movies where it's like the horror is incidental to a really good story. And those are the kinds that I think I enjoy the best. And then the last one that I'll throw out there is It Follows.
Okay. I haven't seen.
And
I've seen Let the Right One In, but I haven't seen It Follows or the first one.
It Follows is really a unique concept, and it's one of those things that kind of takes aim at something through a metaphorical lens, and it's just an interesting thing. It's basically I'm gonna not give away too much, but you get marked in essence, and this thing comes after you really slowly, and no one else can see it except you, and it just kind of slowly walks towards you. So as long as you keep moving and you know where it is, it's fine. But it can look like anything,
Ugh.
and it can look like anybody. But in any case, like, and you can pass it on to another person. But like, it's just a really interesting, kind of unique movie, and I really enjoyed it. I've seen it multiple times, and I'm looking forward to watching it with my older son because we've been getting into horror movies and just watching like tons of them now that he's like, oh, these aren't scary, these are fun, these are funny.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're funny. Like if you watch Final Destination movies are just Rube Goldberg machines of death. They're just ridiculous,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, those would be the 3 that I would like highly recommend.
Okay.
Not necessarily Cabin in the Woods, only for people that I think have seen enough of horror movies to really enjoy it, because it does have a lot of references to like Evil Dead and even like Godzilla and things like that. It's all over the place.
All right. Well,
Yeah, how about you? Do you watch a lot of horror?
I
It's
have
not like
watched a lot of horror. It's
Yeah.
not really my thing these days, but I have watched a lot of horror in my life. But I'm gonna kind of squirm around this actually because I'm gonna go into horror comedy because I mean I've watched some good horror movies, but like I don't know, man. Like some of the like nowadays, like the violence and like the blood and all that stuff, like
Yeah.
it doesn't always do it for me. You know what I mean? Like it's just I don't know if I'm in a different mindset now or what, but it doesn't always do it for me. And I've enjoyed horror in recently too. But I will say I've been rewatching slowly a horror comedy called, and it's been popular. This isn't like a secret movie or anything, called What We Do in the Shadows. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I've seen parts of it. The movie or the show?
Well, both actually, but the movie is my favorite. The movie's so funny.
The movie's very good. Yeah.
The movie is so funny, and the premise is there's a trio of vampires living in like this dilapidated home, and they're preparing for this big undead event that happens every year in New Zealand, and they invite a human camera crew to do to follow them around, and they're not going to kill them. They've given protection, and they're not going to be harmed. But it's like a mockumentary of these three. Well, technically 5 vampires preparing for this event, and it's just so goddamn funny. And there's gore, not gore, but there's blood, and there's death, but it's just really, really funny.
And it's a Taika Waititi joint, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. He plays a German dandy vampire. Like he was a German dandy when he was turned. And then I've mentioned this movie before. It's a little broy, but it's so funny. As This Is the End. And I think part of the reason I enjoy that movie so much is because I know all the comedians who are in it. I don't know them, but like I've followed their work. It's before James Franco like fell out of grace. He's really funny in it though. Like you can get past like the accusations against him. Like it's a really funny movie. It's about the end of the world and like Armageddon essentially, and the devil and heaven, and that kind of thing. Really, really funny movie.
And it does my favorite one of my favorite things when people appear as themselves in comedies, where they just like they roll with it and they make fun of themselves.
Yeah, and they play caricatures of themselves, and it's like
I love that.
Yeah, they're all like cowards in their own way, and it's really, really funny. They're all completely self-involved. Yeah, it's really, really funny movie. And then lastly, it's a little bit, I mean, it's out of date for sure, but I think it still holds up. It's not as entertaining as it used to be, but Shaun of the Dead. You've seen Shaun of the Dead, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Love it. It's one of my favorites.
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah. It's a zombie movie, but it's a comedy, and it's British, and it's so fast-paced, and yeah, it's a really, really funny zombie flick. So those are my horror comedies, and I recommend all of them, especially if like horror is not your bag. The laughs in it kind of mitigate the horror of it all. So it's good. It's good stuff.
No, Shaun of the Dead is a great one, and it was one of the ones I love. So there are people that like really don't like when horror and comedy get mixed together, but I think they're so natural together, like the way they work out so well together. And like they build tension in the same way, and there's the same kind of release. And I was actually just looking at this BBC article about the paradox of horror and how scary films soothe your anxiety. Like it's probably like why I've been on it so much lately, because like it's anxious times, man. So I've been, and like when my sciatica got hurt and stuff like that, I was like, I need to release. And Jess got into it. Jess is not a horror movie person, but when COVID happened, she got in the mood for horror, and I think it was the same kind of thing. But yeah, some great horror comedies like Army of Darkness, which is the weirdest sequel because it is the third movie in the Evil Dead trilogy, and Evil Dead 1 and 2, and even the things that came later, Evil Dead Rises, like those are straight up horror, and they're terrifying. And like Evil Dead or Army of Darkness comes out of the middle of nowhere, and it's like comedy. Like it's like more pure comedy almost.
Yeah. Well, it's like zany comedy, because I think Evil Dead 2 started to bridge that gap a little bit. There was some weirdness in that was funny, but yeah, Army of Darkness is just ridiculous. It's such a funny movie.
It's totally ridiculous. And there's a lot comedy in a lot of horror movies. Like Jason versus Freddy is pretty funny. Jason in Space is bananas ridiculous, and they make fun of the series as well. So there's just comedy and horror, just they're like, it's like peanut butter and chocolate, man. It goes together so well.
Yeah, it does. That's a good comparison. Yeah. The last thing I'll say, this is not horror. This is not horror comedy, but I feel like werewolves are it's just straight up horror. Werewolves are a good kind of unsung genre, because you always hear vampires, and like werewolves are just equally interesting, because they have a whole different transition, and when they transform, it's a violent transformation, and like it's a curse rather than just like being a vampire. Yeah, it's really cool. I like the whole mythology of werewolves as well.
I have always loved werewolves, and there aren't a lot of good werewolf movies, partially because the special effects are much harder than just getting a sexy guy to like have teeth.
That's true.
I mean, a lot of them look really bad, which is comical and funny as well. And then there's like so many different varieties. Like, you go back to Lon Chaney, where it's a guy just sticking out his lower jaw, like making the Bart Simpson face. And like, that's kind of, I'm always sort of that school. And they recently did the werewolf remake with Benicio del Toro and
Anthony
and
Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins, and like I loved the look of those werewolves. Where they turn into just giant wolves, that's like too far for me. I want it. I want it to be somewhere a little closer to humanity. But yeah, I always enjoy those. And when I was a little kid, like 7 or 8, I thought I was a werewolf. I genuinely believed.
Me too.
I believed it. I started to convince my cousins of it.
That is so funny, dude.
Hearing. Yeah, I loved that whole idea. I think and because it's sort of like being a dog or something, like
yeah.
Rad for a little boy. So yeah, but tell me about it.
Well, I had the exact same thing. Like me and a friend of mine, we're like, I think we're werewolves, and we're like, look at my ears, and they're getting pointier, and and my canines are coming out. Like, I'm a werewolf. Yeah, I think for me, it was straight up from Teen Wolf in the like 87 or 88. Whenever that came out. I was like,
Teen
oh my
Wolf
god,
was amazing.
Yeah, I'm a wolf. That's so funny that you had the same thing, man. One more, yet again, one more thing. So also in What We Do in the Shadows, I know you haven't seen the whole movie, but there's werewolves in that too. I don't know if you.
I have seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen all the show.
The show's good too. I haven't finished the last season, I don't think, but the show's really. I was skeptical. I was like, it's not going to be as good, but it is. Yeah. It's like it's because they're totally different characters. There's an energy vampire in it. Like he's not even.
Oh, he's the best part. Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a couple seasons. We haven't finished that one either. But he's my favorite. The energy vampire is my favorite.
Mine too. The one episode that sticks out of my head is he leans in to kiss the female vampire, and she's like, like she gets super uncomfortable, and he in background he's like, I actually didn't want to kiss her, but like her discomfort gave me a lot of energy. So like he was like sucking her energy.
So Carlos, I'd love to hear your joys for this week.
Well, I've got a joy this week because I haven't written them down, despite bragging about doing that in the past. So a couple of shifts ago, I was at just kind of a nosebleed station, which is nice to have that every now and then. When you've had some busy shifts, you just want to like maybe not be moving around so much. But man, the past couple of shifts were just brutal because they were slow. There was just nothing going on, and I'm just like for 12 hours at the station, and practice or watch what you complain about because like I don't want to be busy for 12 hours, but anyway, and so like at one point my back was hurting from like sitting, and my eyes were strained from like just looking at my phone all fucking day. And I've been telling myself, I'm gonna start doing exercises. I'm gonna like start doing push-ups and sit-ups. But then it's like this just where am I going to do them exactly? Like the floor is dirty and like
people are going to see me and
people are going to see me. And then of course it's exercise. Like, do I really want to be doing push-ups and stuff like that? Anyway, so Jody had a brilliant idea. And when she said it, it was like, oh my God, you're a genius. Because we had bought jump ropes like a couple of years ago and we were using them on our property because like you could do that out there. Yeah. But there's really no good place to jump rope out here if I want to have like, in the town we're at, because I don't want to be like outside jump roping. It just seems ridiculous. But jump roping in like the ambulance bay is a brilliant idea. Like I could jump where I get some cardio in. It's just good. Yeah. It's just good all around. And
it's a great workout too.
Yeah, it's a great workout. I'm like, I'm going to take my jump rope to work. So like when it's really slow, I'm just going to jump rope. Even if I'm in a hospital and we're waiting, I could just go out in the ambulance bay and jump rope. And not only do I think it's a brilliant idea, I think, and I'll give you some follow up when if and when it happens. I think there are going to be other paramedics doing the same thing because it's a good exercise, and like you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs when it's a slow day. It's a really good exercise. So that's my joy, like the realization that I can just put my jump rope in my duffel bag and have it on the truck with me and do some jump roping whenever I'm having a slow moment.
Nice, and it's healthy too.
And it's super healthy, yes. So what's your joy for this week? Or joys?
My joy, and I think maybe I'll just do the one. My joy this week is that it's the flip side of Jess being gone, is that the night before she left, we got Indian food. And we always order enough, and like I make rice at home, so it saves a little bit of money. But it could stretch out for several days. But oftentimes, because she works at home, like I'm all excited, and our little one has dibs on the butter chicken because it's the only thing that he'll eat because everything else is too spicy. And like she eats it for lunch. She goes through all of it for lunch. And so I got to stretch out, because she was gone, I got to stretch out the Indian leftovers 3 extra days. And I just really every time I had, and it was every day, I had like Indian food and I just savored the hell out of it. It was so
That's
great.
the best. Yeah, that's the best, man. When you have a dish that you just love and you can enjoy it for until you're sick of it, that's the best.
Yeah. And I never got to get sick of it, but I enjoyed Indian food 4 days in a row. I was so pleased. It was like, it was the single silver lining to her being gone. Thank you so much for joining us. New podcasts every Wednesday. And if any part of this show has resonated with you, let us know at outsidethemanosphere@gmail.com. You can also reach us on Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube. Please like, rate, subscribe to the podcast, YouTube channel, or recommend us to a friend. We hope you'll come back. Have a good one.
Bye-bye now.